Ryan Newman has definitely left his mark on NASCAR history and has won the Daytona 500 as well as the Brickyard 400, which are two major crown jewel events. And despite all these awesome accomplishments throughout his career, sadly he would probably be remembered most for this last lap crash during the 2020 Daytona 500, which thankfully he suffered no serious injuries from, despite the severity of the accident. Newman hasn't officially retired from NASCAR Cup Series racing, and he's made a few starts this year for Rick Ware Racing. But where Ryan really made an impact in NASCAR is sitting 9th all time for the most poles in NASCAR history, as he scored 51 throughout his career. And all of those but 8 came in the early days of his NASCAR Cup Series career with Team Penske, which spanned a total of 9 seasons, 7 of them being full-time, including getting his first pole in his 3rd start at Charlotte Motor Speedway in 2001. During his rookie campaign in 2002, Ryan Newman would go on to pick up 6 pole positions throughout the year, which led the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, and would claim Rookie of the Year honors for the 2002 season. 2003, though, is where he would really leave his mark on the series, as he had his best season of his entire career, where he would score 11 pole positions throughout the year. That's almost 1/3 of the entire season, and would visit victory lane 8 times throughout the season as well. But one of the most impressive qualifying runs he had that year was at Bristol Motor Speedway, where he'd be the first driver ever to run under 15 seconds.
Looks pretty good.
It's the kind of lap you like. Pull!
1490.
Looked pretty good.
Believe that.
Looked pretty good.
Made Schrader look pretty good.
Boy, he sure did. I mean, 1490
Stop.
on the half-mile racetrack.
Come in now.
Unbelievable.
It was truly remarkable what this team was able to achieve in qualifying in 2003 and the season overall. A lot of people say we have the chase today in the playoffs because of the 2003 season and how Matt Kenseth won the championship with only 1 win. Well, Newman was pretty much on the opposite side of that, as if you look at his stats, they were definitely championship caliber numbers, with 8 wins, 17 top 5s, 22 top 10s, and his 11 pole position. He also ended up leading 1,173 laps, but would finish 6th in the standings, with an average finish of 13.9. His qualifying dominance would continue right into 2004, where he would do slightly worse than 2003, but still score 9 pole positions throughout the season, which is still incredible. He wouldn't slow down much going into 2005 either, as he was still dominant in qualifying, scoring 8 pole positions throughout the season. After only 4 full-time seasons in the Cup Series, Newman would accumulate 35 pole positions, which is absolutely insane, and literally 1 race shy of a full season's worth of poles. 2006 would be a tough year for Ryan Newman, as his performance decreased drastically, and he ended up finishing 18th in the standings, with only 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s. He was still able to score 2 pole positions throughout the year though, and that would be pretty much his highlight of the whole season. Newman would see an uptick in performance in 2007, and would even score a pole in NASCAR's New Car of Tomorrow at Dover, and he would score a total of 5 poles on the season. However, he would once again go winless on the year in 2007. Newman would start 2008 off on a high by winning the Daytona 500, but he would ultimately have a pretty rough season with that 1 victory, 2 top 5s, and only 8 top 10s, as well as only 1 pole position scored throughout the year, and he would have to settle for a dismal 17th in points. With Newman's best Team Penske days behind him, he would make the switch to Stewart-Haas Racing in 2009, but this wouldn't stop Newman from being a threat for the pole position, as he was able to secure 2 poles on the year, 1 at Charlotte and 1 at Martinsville, during his first year with Stewart-Haas. Newman would only score 1 pole in 2010 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but it would be an important one, as this would be his 9th pole at the track, which would put him 2nd place all time on NASCAR's list for poles at a single track, tied with Jeff Gordon, only behind David Pearson's 14. 2011 would see Newman score 3 poles on the season, including sweeping both races at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, as well as getting a pole at Bristol. 2012 would be the first year since 2000 where Ryan Newman only made one single start that he would not score a pole throughout the year. But in 2013, he would score one of the biggest poles of his entire career at his home track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, for the Brickyard 400.
Newman or Johnson? Checkered flag. I did it. Newman, the last driver to run. New track record. Ryan Newman does it.
99 P1. Great job. And Ryan Newman climbs up the car racer after he can hear you. There he is. The new track record holder and the pole winner at the Brickyard 400, Ryan Newman. 187.5. The new track record.
A lot of smiles there, Vince.
And tears in the eyes of his dad when he leaned in that window. A big handshake from Tony Stewart and Jimmy Johnson. Well, you said before the run, if I can make it through 1 and 2, that's where easier said than done, but you did it.
It's the benefit of going out last. You get to see and watch, and you got the tracker up there and see what where guys can make and lose time. And I guess I did part of my homework, but the guys definitely did their homework. The Quicken Loans Chevrolet was really good, and I don't know that we caught a cloud or anything. I don't think there's anything to do with that, but just a great effort today for Chevrolet and Quicken Loans and the Smurfs and all the things we got going on here. So I think Stewart's top 5 as well. So good day for Stewart Haas Racing.
And you're a Hoosier. What's it mean to be from Indiana and be on the pole at the Brickyard 400?
I'll admit I was emotional. For me, it's special because it's the Brickyard. I hadn't won a pole here before, and I won so many poles. But it had been so long. It's been so long since I won a pole. It's like people ask me if I ran out of fuel for the rockets, you know, that type of thing. So it's special for me for a lot of reasons. Being home, being in Indiana, being the Brickyard, and being so long not winning a pole. So hopefully we can turn it into a good day tomorrow.
You earned it. And you get that first pit stall. That's big here, isn't it?
Well, it is really big here. This pit road can lose you a race pretty quick, and it's narrow. It's long. The boxes are long, but it's narrow. So having that to our advantage is truly an advantage.
Well done.
Nobody knew it at the time, but in September of 2013 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Ryan Newman would score his 51st and final career pole in the NASCAR Cup Series. It's unfortunate that he couldn't score any pole positions with his time at RCR and Roush, but what he did during his early days at Team Penske will forever be legendary, and Ryan Newman will forever be known as the Rocket Man. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just wanted to show a little respect to Ryan Newman and how awesome he was at qualifying, and he deserves all the recognition for accomplishing what he did, especially in his early days at Penske. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and hit that subscribe button for more NASCAR content. That's all. Take care, everyone.